Greetings. This is further introduction, getting a little bit further and further into Blender. It's a lot to take in, but there's a lot of fun to be had. Just a little overview. This is the general scene and viewport that you get when you load Blender. We're in 2.9.3, but anywhere roughly 2.8.2.9 is going to be about the same. And just a quick overview again. We've got a camera here. We're not going to worry about that today. We've got a cube, and we've got a light. And the light we're not going to worry about as well. The cube is where we're going to have some fun. And just a reminder, here in our object properties, you can see the location of the cube, its rotation, and its scale. Okay, and one of the things I wanted to talk about today is the edit mode. And a reminder, all your modes are up here. And object mode and edit mode is a thing often many people flip back and forth between quite a bit, and Blender has graciously made it very easy to flip between object mode and edit mode with the tab key. So I'm going to hit the tab key, and here we are. And these are, notice the toolbar here is context sensitive, so it switches based on the mode you're in, and we're in edit mode, so you're getting lots of edit options. I'm going to hit tab key again. And here we are back in object mode. You could do just the same thing, with a drop down, no big deal. If shortcut keys feel too overwhelming or kind of hard to get your head around right now, totally fine. Okay, so we're in object mode. We've got a cube. Let's go ahead and add another mesh. And we could do that here, add mesh, torus. And we could also use Shift-A to bring up that same menu, but sort of closer to where our eyes are, right? Which is a kind of great feature of Shift-A. It's where you're looking. You don't have to be erasing your eyes around the screen. So wherever your cursor is, Shift-A, torus, and torus is the donut shape. Donut. So, and you'll see its scale is 1, 1, and 1, and it's kind of poking out a little bit. And so let's adjust the scale. We could adjust the scale here if we want. But we can also just hit the S key and bring that scale down. And now the torus is hiding inside the cube, right? That's kind of fun. And you'll notice I just clicked back on the cube. So we're back on the cube, and the torus is kind of tucked inside the mesh of the cube. Okay, so now I'm just going to zoom in just to make things a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and hit Tab back into edit mode. And you can see here, one of the things that's kind of nice to remember when you're in edit mode is you can see objects are highlighted a bit differently. You can see here the whole cube is selected, and you can see these little dots on the corners. And that's because edit mode for meshes has kind of three components. There's three components of a mesh. The first component of a mesh is a vertex, or the plural of that is vertices. And a vertex is really each point, right? So if you were running around your house not paying attention and you smacked your face into the corner of the desk, you ran into the vertice, or the vertex of the desk. The edge, right, is each line that runs from one vertex to another. That's kind of the formal definition of it. But edge is a thing we know. Edge of a cliff, edge of a book, edge of a desk. We know edges. And then you have faces, and this is the face select option here. And these are three little icons, but they're pretty powerful. And face select allows you to select faces. And a face is, anything that's sort of created by this edge grouping. Four edges here create a kind of loop, and once that loop is closed, a face is created. And so this, face right now is a square. It could be a triangle, or it could be, various other shapes. But the faces right now we're looking at on this cube are squares. Okay. So now let's go ahead and click. Let's say we want to delete one of the faces because we want to show this little torus, almost like in a shadow box, right? So there's that torus hiding inside, and let's go ahead and hit the X key, and the X key is delete, right? And in object mode, when you hit the X, really all you get is the confirmation box. But here, it asks you, like, well, really, what are you trying to delete? Are you trying to delete the vertices, which is one of the dots? I'm going to hit X again. Or are you trying to delete an edge? Or are you trying to delete a face? And let's kind of explore what that's doing here. If we delete a face, we've made ourselves a little shadow box, right? We deleted the face of the box, and now we can see inside, almost like if we flip a shoebox on its side, right? So let me go ahead and hit undo just to get ourselves back. I'm going to hit X again. And let's go ahead and say edges. And now that's weird, right? Whoa. And what happened is we had 1, 2, 3, 4 edges selected, and what it did is it said, oh, anything that's touching this edge I'm going to get rid of. So it got rid of our little side panels over here, right, as well. And now what we have is just this kind of backing board for our torus. Let's go ahead and hit undo. And now let's say, again, we have this face selected. We're going to go ahead and say delete vertices, and it did the same thing because anything touching those 4 corners got deleted. I'm going to hit Command Z, and now we're back. So this is just a little bit of a guide to let you know that when you delete something and you're not sure really what happened, it's good to remember what delete means for each of these approaches. And you know, it's easy as just hitting Command Z if you mess up, so no big deal. So again, X, let's go ahead and delete that face, and now we've got a little shadow box. It's kind of mystical shadow box with this floating torus in it, which is kind of cool. So that's it. Just wanted to show off the basics of the edit mode, flipping back and forth between our friend object mode and edit mode, and what indexes, vertices, and faces means to Blender.